Should Tennessee be the number one team in the country? You got to drop this. It's not on him. I didn't sit on this chair until 6 o'clock and 10 seconds. Shot's too far up. Let's drop it a little bit. Let's back it out and drop it. Back it out and drop it. It sounds like I'm talking to somebody trying to shake that ass. Back it up, drop it. Back it up, drop it. Okay. There you go. Looks better. 888-STOOL-22. 888-STOOL-22. 888-STOOL-22 is the number to call. I had a sad ending to a relationship last night. You know, JD in St. Louis had a bad call yesterday. He DM'd me and said he's not going to call anymore. And I said, why? And he said, well, you shouldn't have treated me like that. And I said, JD, I treat good calls with respect and bad calls like they're bad calls. And you're my best caller, so call back. And he said, no, I retire. So that's probably for the best. It was getting weird. So again, I love all of you. If you call, you're on trial. If it's good, we celebrate you. We put you up. We lift you up. You're awesome. If you're bad, you're bad. And we're not going to hide from that. Hello, Gregory Allison, Hunter 2, Connor Sweeney, Jay Tansa, I don't know. Gregory Allison, hello. Blaze, Matt Dixon. Thank you very much. Wes Livingston, Nate Neal, Rob Wooden, Charlene Cernagel, Craig, Tank 28, Wes Livingston, hello. Troy Atwood, Jason Fritz, Lucas Moore, Nate Neal, Mark Struck, Benjamin Russ. What's up, Playboys? How you guys doing? How's everybody out there? My question is this. Should Tennessee be the number one? Blaze Bama says, Brandon, why is Mississippi State always bad? Because your mother's a whore. Can I keep saying that? Blaze Bama, your mother's a whore. I think we should normalize saying that to people. Can I have a burger and tater tots? We're out of tater tots. Your mother's a whore. I'd like for that to be my... Do you miss Owen yet? Has he left? When does he leave? When's Owen's last day?
I think it's the end of the month.
Cool. Well, when's Colby's last day? Isn't he leaving?
Yes, he is.
All right. Well, we should have a party or something. B-Walk, how good of a QB was Blake James at Fort Walton Beach? He was fine. He wasn't bad. A good quarterback. Solid high school quarterback. Probably could have had a decent little JUCO D2, D3 career. Not a bad, really good quarterback, actually. Did he break a Danny Werfel record? I feel like he broke a Danny Werfel record. My question is, should Tennessee be... Oh, top 5 NWO members. I got to do that one. 1 Hall, 2 Nash, 3 Savage, 4 Hogan, 5 Buff Bagwell. That was easy. When is Rico's last day? Soon. Should Tennessee be number 1? Depends. I'm going to say no, but I'm going to tell you a reason why. Because the way the top 25 is constructed, it isn't as merit-based as people want it to be. Now, if we change it, that's fine. Because if you ask me who had the best resume in college football to this point, the answer is Tennessee by far. Clemson number 2. Tennessee has earned being great. They've earned being near the top of the charts. But you have to ask yourself a question as a voter. I'm voting on the top 25 best teams in college football. Not the 25 teams with the best resume, not the 25 teams with the best win, not the 25 teams who were on TV the other day. I'm asked to vote for the best 25 teams in college football. And while Tennessee has accomplished a lot this year and they have gone way up there, I don't think I can put them higher than 3. They have an opportunity to go higher when they play Georgia and they go further. But I still would have Ohio State and Georgia number 1 and 2. Again, you're asked to judge the 25 best teams in the country, not the teams with the best resumes. If it was the teams with the best resumes, we wouldn't vote. We would just know. Tennessee has accomplished the most so far in 2022, and that's great. That's awesome. Good to have them back. But I still would have Ohio State, Georgia number 1. And that's how the polls work. That's how they'll always work. The only poll that's really merit-based in this country is the one at the very end of the season after we've had the playoff. Can you bring up I had an exchange yesterday with Wes Rucker from 24/7. Can you bring up Wes's tweet? I tweeted yesterday. I quote tweeted it at about 5 o'clock. So, or right after this show. Bring up that. I'd like to talk about that. And I'm going to give you a clippable quote too. So be ready. Brandon, what's receding faster, Nebraska or Marty's hairline? Nebraska's not receding. They've been gone. They've been gone. Matt Barry says, you're pretty good at this. No, I'm great at this. I'm the best at this. I'm phenomenal at this. If I were not ugly and fat, I would be a huge star, but I am. Keeping It 100 wants you as a guest. You're welcome. What's Keeping It 100? Is that Conan's podcast? I'd love to go on there. Although he should have named it, Let Me Speak on This, but whatever. Rank the Power 5 conferences by the strength of their bottom 3 teams. Don't attack our boy West, says Snooze. Suck my fucking dick, Snooze. Don't attack our boy West. Attack. Oh, don't say words about him. Fuck Wes and fuck you too. Not that I have anything against him, but the fuck are you doing here if you're going to say, please don't be mean to somebody? We got that tweet coming?
Yep.
Yesterday, after this show, I saw this on Twitter. This is Wes Rucker, 24/7 Sports. Wes, by all accounts, from what I know, is a very talented sports writer. He has done very well down there at 24/7 in Knoxville. He tweeted out, Tennessee being really good has always been and will always be really good for college football because almost no one is ambivalent about the Vols. People love or hate them, and when you see their shade of orange, you know exactly who it is. Big brand makes the sport better. Let me just take this point by point by point. This idea that college football is better when certain teams are good is the biggest load of horse shit I've ever heard. In the last 20 years, Tennessee has been irrelevant. I'm not making fun of them. I'm just saying that's a fact. They're coming out of it now. They look elite. They look awesome, and it's great. It is good to see them back on the national stage. I enjoy that. However, over the last 20 years, and particularly the last 10 years, Tennessee has been a non-starter. They've not been good. They've had bad times. They've gone through coach after coach after coach. And during that 10-year stretch, college football has enjoyed the greatest 10-year stretch in its history. And you go back 20 years, it's the greatest 20-year stretch in its history. In that 2 decades, college football has grown more than it has ever grown before. It gets more eyeballs than it's ever gotten before. It makes more money than it's ever made before. It has better TV contracts than it's ever had before. It has done all of that. It has grown exponentially, tenfold in the last 20 years. It has done all of that without the Tennessee Volunteers. It is great that Tennessee is back on the national stage. That's awesome. Welcome back. I hope you stay a while. But I promise you, if Tennessee disappeared tomorrow like they did the last 10 years, college football would keep right on marching. They'd keep right on going. College football is bigger than any one program. If Ohio State quits tomorrow, college football keeps right on trucking. If Nick Saban quits tomorrow and Alabama is dead and gone, college football keeps right on a-going. Not worried about Alabama, not worried about Ohio State. This is a machine. It's a monster. And as soon as Alabama dies, somebody will grow in their place. Remember in the 2000s when Florida was the best program and Urban Meyer was the best coach? Boom, they die. Here comes Alabama. Tennessee, welcome back. Don't you fucking piss on my leg and tell me it's raining and saying, oh my goodness, college football is so much better with Tennessee good. No, you big orange idiots. You think it's better because you're good. That's why you think it's better. Oh my goodness, college football is so much better when we're good. Well, no fucking shit, hillbillies. Now, pull the tweet up a little bit more. I want to keep going a little bit on that topic. He says, Wes Rucker, again, very talented sports writer. It's really good for college football because almost no one is ambivalent about the Vols. Wes, you live in a big orange bubble. I'm from the SEC, and I know in Mississippi and Alabama and Georgia, nobody's ambivalent about Tennessee. They either love them or hate them. I understand that. But the Southeastern Conference is a bubble. The Southeast is a bubble. In Texas, in New Mexico, in Iowa, in Minnesota, in Washington, in Oregon, in Maryland, in West Virginia, nobody gives a wet, hot fuck about Tennessee. There's nobody waking up in Iowa saying, oh, I just hope somebody beats those nasty Volunteers today. That doesn't exist. It does not exist. Get out of the SEC bubble. Get out of the Big Orange bubble. Nobody across this country looks at Tennessee and says, oh, my God, I hate them. I've always hated them. 80% of this country was rooting for Tennessee the other day because why? They're not Alabama. That's why. I'm so right. I'm so good at this. Third topic here, and I'll move on. People love them or hate them, but when you see their shade of orange, you know exactly who it is. Wes looked dead in my eyes. You know what other team I know by looking at their color? TJ, do you know what other team I know by just looking at their color? Every other fucking team in the fucking country. I see Texas is orange. That's Texas. I see gold. That's Notre Dame. I see a certain shade of purple. It's Kansas State. Another shade of purple. It's Northwestern. I know the shades because I'm a college football fan. Don't act like, oh, they saw our orange. They know who we are. Oh, my goodness. We're so great. You ain't special. Welcome back. Good to see you. Hope you stay a while. Stop acting like the rest of us were just lost until you got here. God damn, Wes. Somebody gets paid to suck a big orange dick, and he wants to make all of us get on our knees with him. I ain't going to do it. And Dave Portnoy chiming in. Dave Portnoy can't name 5 Tennessee players, okay? This motherfucker going to say, of course college football is better. You don't fucking know college football, Dave. Thank you for the paycheck. I appreciate it. And that's the shit Josh Pate ain't going to do. That's the shit Paul Feinbaum ain't going to do as he goes down on fucking Phyllis from Mulga. Man. Enjoyed that. Fucking Wes. I want, yes. That might be our first 9-minute clip. 888-STOOL-22. 888-STOOL-22. There's only 414 people watching me right now. That's a goddamn shame. It's one of the biggest crimes in the fucking country. You got to be fucking kidding me. Hmm. 888-STOOL-22. Go ahead and vet my calls for me so I can get started. I don't recognize any of the numbers, or I would grab one myself. I don't know any of the area codes. OGs are here. Yes, FSU, Brando, you are. Is that a Dr. Pepper State jersey? No, dumbass. It's a Mississippi State uniform shirt. Yankee stream? Who the fuck is watching the Yankee stream? Who in the fuck is watching, although that is on the Barstool Sportsbook too, right? Who in the fuck is watching Marty Mush and goddamn Hubs watch a baseball game? If you are, what the fuck are you doing with your life? Brandon Walker's talking college football. Jesus Christ. Brandon talk about Prime in that 60-minute interview. I didn't watch it. I saw clips. I saw him say if he is asked about a Power 5 job, he has to listen. Yeah, he does. And he will. I assume. 888-STOOL-22. Yeah, it is the Yankee stream. That's why. That's what's chopping into my numbers. That's a shame. That's a shame. M-Rags is hot. Apparently this blind woman is watching a stream. I mean, is he wearing too big of a sweater? Why is he hot? Can we get a new Hail State Stool guy? I miss Brooks. I miss Brooks too. I don't know the current guy. I'm going to State tomorrow, though. Mount Rushmore wrestling finishing moves. Stone Cold Stunner, figure 4 leg lock, Hogan's leg drop, and powerbomb, maybe? I don't know whose powerbomb it would be. 888-STOOL-22. This guy just wants to talk about hope. as a subject, hope.
And why it's the worst thing in the world for a college football fan.
Oh, I like this take. Greg in Pittsburgh, go ahead.
B-Walk, that was a great rant. That Wes is an idiot. Agree with all your points there. Perfect take. Yeah, I want to talk about hope and why it's just the absolute worst thing a college football fan can hold on to. Came into this past Saturday hoping that James Franklin would have the Nittany Lions ready to go for another big game, finally can get over the hump of just abysmal games versus top 10 opponents. What does he go out and do? Just get absolutely shellacked.
Mm-hmm.
There was a chance for them to have somewhat of a season, and now it's just gone, and I'm back in a grumpy Penn State fan.
You're right. I have long since said that hope is the most valuable commodity in college football. The most abundant commodity in college football is hate. But when you have hope, it is the most valuable thing that you can have. It's also the meanest thing that you can have. It's the nastiest thing that you can have. Having hope as a college football fan is like walking around with a rattlesnake in your fanny pack. Like it's as long as you don't, if you unzip it too far, you're going to get bit. It's going to be bad. Hope is good to carry around, but sometimes it bites you in the fucking ass. And you guys ran into it. I just ran into it, but I knew it. I saw it. I saw it coming. We were 5-1, ranked number 16. Life is good. A road game at Kentucky. Hope down the drain. Penn State, ranked number 10 in the country. They got their first big trip to Michigan. Right down the drain. Hope sucks.
Yeah, absolutely the worst. Thanks for taking my call, B.
I was in a good mood till you called. I just need you to know that. Stool 22. Macho Man's flying elbow could be on that. Yeah, perhaps. Cal in Arizona. Go ahead, Cal.
Hey, B-Walk. Maybe try to change up the vibes a little bit for you. Sounds like a little bit on one today, but I can appreciate it. So obviously we saw Tennessee win with an electric field goal. I kind of wanted to get your either top 3 or top 5 most electric ways to win any sport across the board.
A terrific question. All right, let's brainstorm. Hail Mary to win a football game is up there. Let's see. Walk-off home run is great. Buzzer beater in basketball. The best ways to win. I got a low-key one in football. That you don't realize is so great. How about blocked field goal for the win? Like if if the other team is like close to tying it or close to going ahead and they're kicking it and you block it, that because you're scared, your butthole's drawn up. Oh my God, it's over, and then boom, an explosion of happiness. Give me a couple more. You got any more?
Yeah, I was thinking like back in Tiger Woods 2008 to win the U.S. Open, like a putt to win that. But I mean, it's hard to go against like a walk-off.
The problem with it, and I'm about to show you some extreme sports knowledge. The problem with that putt in 2008 was it wasn't a walk-off to win. He hit that putt on the 72nd hole against Rocco Mediate to force a playoff that happened the next day, and he won that. Like he'd never had a walk-off putt, right? That was a walk-off to go to the playoff.
That's true. That is true. But I mean, anything like, I don't know. I'm a golfer, so like to drain a putt to win something is pretty electric. But the home run too. I mean, I think that's my number one.
I assume that when you golf, you put a little money on it, a little skin in the game. Yes.
Oh yeah.
So there's nothing better than, you have a putt on 18 for $100, for $200, for $300, for whatever you're playing for, whatever me and you play for. Nothing better than sinking that putt and pointing right at the guy. That's an awesome feeling. And to do that on the grandest stage, to do that at like a major, or to do that, maybe the greatest golf. Is there ever been a better? I'm about to do it again. Ever been a better walk-off finish than Larry Mize at the 1987 Masters? On a playoff hole with 2 other players, he's 40 yards off the green, and he chips in from that far off. That's probably one of the best to hit a miracle shot from off the green to win a tournament. My God, I know sports so good. God damn. Do y'all realize what y'all have in me? Do y'all realize I'm funny? I know sports more than anybody. That's about it. But God, kick 6. The problem is when he asks these questions, I assume it's something repeatable. Kick six is a miracle. Kick six will probably never happen again. So, what's the worst way to lose a game? In baseball, I think it's either a walk-off walk, because goddamn it, just throw a strike, or a wild pitch walk-off. That's troubling. That's whenever there's a walk or there's something in baseball and you don't make them hit it, you just do it yourself. That sucks. 8-8 stool 22. A late knockout in UFC where the guy's behind.
Oh, Leon Edwards this past over the summer, he was like losing the first 4 rounds, came back and one shot KO'd Usman in the 5th round.
Blackbird says, Brandon, my wife says you're a solid 5.5. Does that mean I'm a 5.5 in the looks department, or she thinks I have a 5.5-inch penis? Oh, it's longer than that. Oh, yeah. I'm Brandon Walker, babe. Come on. Look at the size of these hands. You see the size of these hands? Yeah. How about the size 15 shoes? All right.
Big socks.
Big nose. Big ears. You think I got one appendage?
Big ego, big hair.
You think I got one appendage that ain't big? No, they're all big.
Yuck.
Gross. Penises are disgusting.
Yeah.
You want to talk disgusting? Let's talk vaginas. Woo! Gross.
Look gross, don't feel that way.
Hey. Gross.
Stormy.
Icky. Did she say pastrami? Gross. What's that that meme on the yak?
Yeah.
Bitches be like, okay. How much do you hate Wes Rucker? Not at all, Jacob Morris. Why? I don't want dumb people here. Please don't be dumb here. I don't. Don't be stupid. Jacob Morris, that was stupid. You said something stupid. Armstrong grappling? Oh, the Armstrong family from Pensacola? Scott and Bullet Bob and Brad. Brian, that's Road Dog. Road Dog's Brian Armstrong. Brad, Scott, was there 4 or just 3? I think there were just 3 boys. Was there a 4th Armstrong boy? Huh.
Lance.
No, there wasn't a Lance Armstrong. You're thinking of Reddit. 888 stool 22. That's Von Erich. Caden in Fort Worth, go ahead.
Hey, what's up, Brandon? Hope you're having a good Tuesday.
Go ahead, please. Yes, thanks.
Hey, man. Fun fact: if you ever get an opportunity to try an all Wagyu beef hot dog, shout out Midland Miko. Make sure you definitely take someone up on that. All beef Wagyu hot dogs.
Let me stop you there. I just want to stop you there. Okay. If I'm going to have Wagyu beef, why would I have it in hot dog form?
Because we have so much fucking Wagyu beef in Texas that you got to have some tube steaks too. You know?
I love a good tube steak in my mouth, but I also don't like the way you're saying Wagyu. You're saying Wagyu? I say Wagyu.
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 Hell, I don't know. Fuck it.
Wagyu?
Anyway.
Wagyu.
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 Okay.
We're on the same page. Well, hey, I just wanted to call in. I thought you gave some pretty good analysis on the Big 12 race. I think your analysis on TCU is pretty dead on. The last really 6 weeks, 7 weeks have been unbelievable as a TCU fan. This last week was incredible. I think this team is pretty scary just in that we can run the football very, very, very efficiently, and then we have deep threats, very efficient deep threats over the top, whether it's Savion Williams, Quentin Johnson, Tay Barber, so many weapons over the top. And it's weird to think about it, but I think, and I want to get your take on this, but don't you think this team kind of reminds you a little bit of those Art Briles coached Baylor teams kind of in the middle 2010s? And they were running the football, and then just throw it over the top of people. Obviously the defense pretty bend and don't break, but kind of wanted to get your take on that comparison. Sonny Dykes, obviously the air raid, but Super exciting times in Fort Worth, Texas right now.
So far, I would say yes. My only concern there is just let's. I think with the Big 12, we're gonna have to wait till Week 12 and start judging these teams because right now, TCU has had the upper hand and they're 6-0. They won an overtime game the other day. Did that game went to overtime? Yeah. But they've won some close games but the thing about the Big 12 this year that's different than other years, usually you play Texas, you play Oklahoma, and then you have a couple down weeks because you play some bad teams. Not this year. Every week is a grind. Every week is a tough team. There are no easy outs anymore in the Big 12. There isn't that elite playoff contender at the top unless TCU can stretch this out. But I really think TCU, the story of their season will be in front of us, not behind us so far. Doesn't mean they can't go 6-0 in the back half like they went 6-0 in the front half, but I think the Big 12 is fascinating from a standpoint that it will be good right down to the very last drop. 8-8, still 22. 8-8, still 22. We go to Alexander in Knoxville. Go ahead.
Hey, Brandon. I figured by Tuesday Alabama fans will be done complaining about the refs.
Yeah.
An Alabama fan complaining about the refs is like liberal complaining about voter fraud. It's just ridiculous.
Yep.
But
topical.
I did have a kind of a question. You probably don't have an answer to this because it's kind of strange. But so Tennessee this week plays UT Martin, which is technically part of UT. It is the same school, but they have a separate football team. I don't know how many states have a system like that, but has there ever been a subsidiary football team beat its big brother? Or is it set up as a free win for that team?
Let me flex some knowledge again. I believe UC Davis, University of California at Davis, beat Cal last year, if not the year before, or a couple of years. It's been recently that UC Davis beat Cal. I think it was last year, and they are they're gum off Cal's shoe, but they beat them. I think it's happened quite often. Now, quite often's a stretch. I'm trying to think of who actually has done it to be in the same university system, not just the same state, but I know Cal and UC Davis are in the same system, and UC Davis beat them. Good question. UT Martin, by the way, everybody know their nickname? I know their nickname. Don't you say it because you know it too, Alexander. 8-8, still 22. Skyhawks. Coming up after the show, Brandon Walker saves the dozen. The dozen has fallen on hard times recently. The dozen has featured players like Kirk Minahan and Rico Bosco and Big Ev and others. And that's just not interesting. It's not fun. The dozen was built on my back, on PFT's back. We built this. And tonight, the return of the experts to save the show. Tonight after the show, right at 7 o'clock, you will have the experts, me, Fran, and PFT. Although I guess I should tell you right now, I don't know if it's a spoiler. I don't know if he's announced it. It's just me and Fran. PFT unavailable this week. PFT out for a week. And me and Fran went 2-3. 2-on-3 against the new macro-dosing team of Arian Foster, Mad Dog, and Big T. So there you go. That's coming up, the experts. Cancel that Mississippi trip, B-Walk. It's going to suck not having the show for a couple days. Yeah, I got to go see my mama, though.
They also announced you're playing in the Dozen New York live show.
That's correct.
Against Mincy's ass.
Mm-hmm. That'll be easy. That'll be me and the experts against the Honkers, right? The Honkers, which is Robbie, Mincy, and Francis.
And then Chicago versus Frank and the Frankettes.
Nobody cares about Chicago. They're also Rands.
Yak versus Smockin.
It's not Ziti? Oh, Dave can't come to New York.
No, Smockin's the get fucked rematch.
Oh, the get fucked rematch. UC Davis has never beat Cal in football. Who did UC Davis beat last year? UC Davis beat somebody. No, they beat somebody. They beat Stanford. They beat somebody. Guest host? No. Nobody can guest host this show. Percy Harvin versus Deshaun Jackson in
Stanford.
college. Percy Harvin, easy. Huh?
Stanford.
They beat Stanford. Okay, well then, never mind. They beat Stanford. I was close. Rush Probst or Gary Gaines. I think they're both assholes. 888 Stool 22. David in Blacksburg, which I believe is in Virginia. Go ahead, David.
Yes, sir, Brandon. So I think your take is right about the college football writers. Really, I think it comes down to they're just really lazy and don't know what to write about. If these big programs with marquee sort of headlines and history like aren't prominent and not good, so they don't want to do the legwork and research all the smaller teams and things like that. I think really college football is better when more teams are good, not these just a few top teams, you know?
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree. The best season of my lifetime was 2007. We had a 2-loss national champion, and we had teams get to the top 5 that have never been there before. You know, that was your Kansas-Missouri 1 versus 2 matchup. I like new blood at the table. I like new people on top. It's much more exciting when your Alabamas, your Ohio States, your Clemsons aren't dominating college football. I'll say this, though. I don't know if it's that college football writers are lazy. It's just college football writers give in to their own biases, and that's okay. I don't like a world where college football writers act like they're not biased towards a team, a conference, or something. And the guy I was arguing about, Wes Rucker, is a Tennessee fan who writes about Tennessee, and he writes from a Tennessee point of view. So naturally he would slant things toward Tennessee. Fine, that's great. That's a lot better than boring-ass Dan Wolken at USA Today who doesn't even fucking like college football. I'd much rather have a country full of Wes Ruckers than Dan Wolkens, who's just telling you that you're a bad person for liking college football. So anyway, I don't remember what we were talking about, but whatever. 888 Stool 22. JD says, I'm out forever. Just need to make sure TJ sees the DM. Brandon and I are over. Then fucking leave. Can you kick him out? If he says I'm out forever, then he's out forever. Kick him out. He doesn't need to be here.
I saw his DM. It was really weird.
Yeah, the DMs he sent me were weird.
Yeah.
Like
weird DMs.
It was a fun call last week. Couple fun calls, funny. Now it's a little weird. 888 Stool 22. I'm not going to be able to answer this question. Nick in Illinois, go ahead.
Brandon, what's going on?
How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Great.
Wanted to get your thoughts on Kent State laying the 19.5 to Akron. Kent State just decided to make the hardest non-conference schedule for a MAC team ever, so I kind of love this spot. Love Sean Lewis. Wanted to get your thoughts.
Akron sucks. I thought Joe Moorhead would come in and turn that thing around a little bit. I bet on him twice early in the season just because I liked him. I bet on him against one of those god-awful teams. I think it was St. Francis in the opener or maybe early. And just do not ever bet on Akron. So if it's these two teams, bet on Kent State because they're good to you. They at least throw the football. They move the football. They're a good offense. No, I never bet on Akron. If Akron's on the other side, bet against them. That's my take. If you're too soft to handle BFW shtick, you probably shouldn't call in the first place. It's fun to watch me be mean to other people. But Nick in Vancouver, what the fuck do you want?
Hey, Brandon, looking forward to watching the experts later. Missed you last time. Big
All right.
T was not the same. I'm just saying, looking at Kansas' schedule, they're 5-2. They obviously start off really well. Lance Leipold's a hot coaching name.
Yeah.
And I don't believe this. I'm just saying, college football fans are going to say this. If they go they are at Baylor, they play home at Oklahoma State, then at Texas Tech, then home for Texas, and then at Kansas State. If they finish 6-6, and it's because he went 1-6 over the last 7, do you think he still has – I know you say you think he's going to stay at Kansas, but let's say he wants to go to Wisconsin if it opens or Nebraska. Do you think he still has that sexiness of the name that he had at the beginning of the year if he's 6-6, even though 6-6 at Kansas is remarkable?
I do. I think his name is made right now, and I think if he wants a Wisconsin job, he'll get the Wisconsin job. If he wants the Nebraska job, he'll get the Nebraska job. You got to realize that just because they started 5-0 and they're now 5-2 doesn't mean what they did is not fucking remarkable. Like, Kansas was the deadest dead that's ever been dead in college football. They hadn't won more than 3 games in over a decade. They were the worst, the dirt worst, and they won 5 games to start this season. Even if they go 5-7, the man resurrected Kansas. The man 5-7 is double what their win total was this year. It was 2.5. 5-7 is double that. So yes, I think no matter what happens from here on out, barring they lose every game 90-0, I think he's getting whatever job if he wants them. Thank you very much for the call. Purdue, good, bad, or lucky? Solid. Solid team. Solid team. Brandon, do you respond to nice DMs that fans send to you? All the time, yes. I don't tweet them, but I do respond to them, yes. The only ones I don't like, and nobody would have any way to know this, but when I tweet out a bad DM, I'm really just tweeting it out so y'all can look and laugh at the guy. Every time I do that, I get like 10 positive DMs saying, "Oh, Brandon, keep your head up, keep your head up." I'm fine. You don't have to DM me at that point. I'm good. I just want y'all to see this dumb motherfucker. People take it as Brandon looking for sympathy. No, I just need y'all to see this motherfucker. See this idiot. That's why I do it. Brian Turner says, "You are soft, Brandon." Brian Turner, you're on a YouTube chat talking from an anonymous account. I'm putting my name and my face behind everything I say. How's that soft? Also, your mother's a whore. And that's not how you spell Brian. Spell it with an I, dipshit. This idiot. John Wick or James Bond? I've never seen a John Wick movie. That is my answer. If it's a movie that came out in the last 10 years and it's not aimed at kids or a sports movie, I probably haven't seen it. Just haven't. I probably haven't seen it. John Wick, no chance have I seen those. Ole Miss money line, Big Al, just give me your money because they ain't winning. Should the Rose Bowl be the stadium to host college football final every year? Absolutely not, your Uncle Mike. Rose Bowl can go fuck itself. Fuck them. 888 Stool 22. Is John Wick good, TJ?
I've never seen one either. They look all right, though. They look
pretty... the Creed 3 trailer's out. I need to watch it. I was watching it at the beginning of the Yak, but I didn't get to watch all of it. I got to watch the Creed 3 trailer. Okay. Guess you had nothing to add on that one. Rank the most recent Disney movies. Moana is the best. Moana is incredible. I love Moana. That's a good movie. I don't know that I've seen many others. I saw Frozen when my little girl was younger. The worst Pixar movie is that Inside Out. That's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Nobody want to see a fucking Pixar movie make you get inside of the mind of a sad girl? God damn. Thoughts on the new Christmas Story? I didn't see the old Christmas Story until like 3 years ago. That was never a thing in my house. My wife, it was a thing in her house. She watched it like every Christmas. She made me watch it. It's not good.
I like it.
Why? What's good about it?
It's campy. It's like bad, so bad it's good type deal. Like it's obviously bad, so it's good.
It's just so bad.
Don't make a second one for sure, though.
No, don't.
No matter what, don't make a second one.
Don't make a second one. Not 40 years after the first
Not
one.
1 year after. Just don't make a second one. Definitely.
Best for Christmas movies. And no, do not even ask in the chat. Die Hard's not a Christmas movie. It came out in July. Shut the fuck up. Best Christmas movies. Christmas Vacation's number one. Sorry, it just is. This is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation's number one forever and always. Kiss my ass. Kiss his ass. Kiss your ass. Happy Hanukkah. I will probably quote that movie 3,000 times on this show. Bottom 3 teams in the SEC, Auburn, Missouri, Vanderbilt. That was easy. Top 5 members of the Yak. Za, TJ, Che, me, and also me. I'm on the list twice. I run the Yak. I'm the heart and soul of the Yak. Best Christmas movie, Elf or Nightmare Before Christmas? No. Elf is fine. Home Alone's good. I'd say Home Alone's the second best Christmas movie.
Aren't you a big Will Ferrell guy?
Yeah.
You know that role wasn't written for him?
Okay.
It was written for Jim Carrey.
That would have worked too. Would have been great. Maybe too over the top.
Right.
Will Ferrell's probably better for it, but
People don't talk about that jump, though, because that was like right when Will Ferrell was doing
that was the jumping off point.
SNL.
Yeah.
And he decided to just go from adult comedy to a kid's movie.
And then they went to Elf. You go Elf. Was Anchorman? No, it went Elf, old school Anchorman. That's how it went. Yeah.
That's pretty crazy range.
Dude, there was a 5-year window where he was just throwing 102. Everything was just was incredible. Old school. You know what we don't talk about enough? His little 5 minutes in Wedding Crashers. He dominates Wedding Crashers, and for 5 minutes. That's not. I don't think that's true. What's the score of the baseball game?
5-1 Yankees.
Okay. Do the Guardians have anybody on base?
Now the Yankees are batting.
Okay. All right. This guy said Guardians Grand Slam 5-5.
That'll be hard to do because the Yankees are out.
What did that guy accomplish just now, other than make me take 30 seconds that I didn't have out of my day?
That's it.
Eastbound and down, that's a little too over the top. Terrific titties in it, though. I can just tell Peyton from Tennessee, I'm just not going to talk about FCS schools. You should probably just hang up. 8-8, still 22. Oh, he did. Okay, that was quick. I should be honest. I should be more honest. Be like, hey, I don't really want to talk about that. I should have said that to the Mac guy. I just don't want to talk about that. Thomas in Chicago, go ahead.
Hey, Brandon. Hope you're having a good day.
Thanks.
I got office trivia for you, and then I got 2 things to talk about. With office trivia, in the episode Beach Games, which is the plot where Michael Scott is interviewing for a position at Dunder Mifflin Corporate Headquarters, what are the 4 beach games that the employees play?
The egg and a spoon race, the walking on coals, the hot dog eating contest, the sumo pit.
TJ, ring this guy up.
That's easy. I mean, Beach Games is right when the show is at its best. I think season 3 to season 4, you got like maybe all 5 of your best episodes are in that window. All right, continue.
Yeah. So after yesterday's phone call about USC, I was thinking, do you think this is the type of loss or best loss that any team, specifically at USC, can have?
Yeah.
They can say they were out without their top 2 players in that Gentry defensive back and Jordan Addison, or do you think people will just this
was such a good loss for USC? Like if they go out there and they get beat 48-14, that's a problem. They lost 43-42. I think the world acknowledges they got a really shitty whistle. I think the world acknowledges that Utah got a lot of calls in their favor. And how often do you see a program like USC get public opinion in their favor on officials over a team like Utah? But Utah won the game. I think USC came out of there smelling like a rose. Caleb Williams was great. They have everything in front of them. They can still beat UCLA and then beat Oregon for the championship in the Pac-12. USC is going to be just fine. If they went out there in the playoff, in my opinion, that's a terrific loss for them. 8-8, still 22. Brandon, could Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen go to Mississippi State right now and make them the best team in the country? Best team in the country? No. Could it make them a playoff team? Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you had like the elite of the elite quarterback running that offense, how would you stop Patrick Mahomes and Mike Leach offense? How would you stop How would you stop Josh Allen and Mike Leach's offense? I don't think you would. Phone line is working. It's just full. Nelson Shirley. It's just full. So I'll talk about this. Bo in Greensboro. Go ahead.
How's it going, Brandon? Big fan. Always been a big fan. I wish you would have slapped Devlin a little bit harder than pushing him like a shopping cart.
Okay.
A little throwback there.
Thank you.
But as a Nebraska fan, I've been kind of pulling my hair out with the coaching carousel that we've been through. Who's got the best? Like, there's Lance, there's Matt Campbell at Ohio State, there's Matt Rule, but you told me that he's probably going to do TV, which I'm convinced of.
Yeah.
Mickey is creating a culture, but
yeah.
I don't think that he's the answer.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if you had any insight there.
So I would go I think Lance is the best answer. I think Lance immediately came in and switched around Kansas. If he can do that at Kansas, my God, what could he do at Nebraska? I don't like Matt Campbell at all. Like, how long are we going to let Matt Campbell be average at Iowa State before we stop putting him in these jobs? How long are we going to do that? Are we just going to say because he won 9 games, 10 games a couple of years ago that he's going to be a candidate for every job from now to the end of the time? They haven't been good recently, and why do we ignore that? And Matt Rule, if I told you I'll give you $40 million to not do your job, and then you maybe can go do some TV next year and collect all the money, what would you do? I think you'd go do TV. There is one name that well, there's 2 names. How come nobody's talking about Luke Fickell in this country right now? How come people like Nebraska? Do people just think Nebraska's not good enough to get Luke Fickell? Because Luke Fickell needs to be gotten out of Cincinnati right now. And if he's waiting for Michigan or Ohio State or Penn State or one of those big ones, then let him wait. Somebody needs to go get Dave Aranda at Baylor.
I don't think Fickell will come to us, honestly.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't think so.
Fair enough.
He's waiting for the Ohio State. Maybe not Ohio State, but real quick, one more thing. Trey Palmer, wide receiver, Nebraska.
Yeah, LSU transfer.
100 yards. Huh?
LSU transfer.
I just wondered how he's kind of he didn't even get Big Ten Player of the Week with 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, and they gave it to that dweeb at Illinois, Chase.
Yeah, who ran for 200 yards and ran the ball 41 times in their biggest win in quite some time. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Nebraska did lose that game. Brandon, could you debate Stephen A? I would piss on anybody in a debate. Anybody. Stephen A, Stephen B, Stephen C, doesn't matter who it is. Does Q's have a chance of beating Clemson? No. What does that mean nationally if it happens? It won't. Also, thank you for introducing me to Lomo Saltados. You're welcome. They're so good.
It's actually insane that isn't, like, way more popular.
It's so good.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't know how, like I told y'all the backstory of how I came upon it, but God, it's so good. Lomo saltado is a dish from Peru. It is beef with tomatoes and onions on top of French fries on top of rice. Oh my God. It's so good. What it does to the fries. What that beef and everything does to the fries is amazing.
It's unbelievable.
It's so good.
It's expensive as fuck, but...
Well, you got the money.
Not yet.
You're on the Pro Football Show.
Ooh.
That wasn't even a joke. that was the truth. Ooh. I just said a thing that was real.
Yeah, I am.
Trey in Illinois, go.
Hey, Brandon, I got a trivia question for you. Can you name the Power 5 team with the most winless seasons?
Oh, what a question. Oof. I don't know. You know, my mind goes to the trash of... I'd have to guess Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt, surprisingly, I think only has one, and I think it was the COVID year.
Northwestern?
Northwestern is second most with 6. And that was going to be my fun fact, that Nebraska could have possibly prevented them from tying the number 1 team with 7 winless seasons.
Iowa State?
Not Iowa State.
Who is it?
It's Kansas State.
Kansas State? Oh, they were really – yeah, that's right. Before Bill Snyder, they were the worst team, and they were the worst program in America for 70 years.
Yeah, Northwestern has 6, so I think they go 1-11 this season. I think they could have tied Kansas State. Would have been something for the record books.
Thank you. 8-8, still 22. Forrest in South Carolina, go.
B-Walk.
Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
You can.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about a Clemson Colt that you referred to. I actually have a pretty unique perspective on this. So I grew up about 30 minutes from Columbia. My dad went there. You know, all of my dad's side went there. My mom went to Clemson, or her side is Clemson. But I grew up with South Carolina fan. I knew every single player. You know, those were the Stephen Garcia, the Connor Shaw years. Yeah, I knew every single player. I thought I was going there for college. Was a diehard fan. Last second, decided to go to Clemson, and then was a student at Clemson when they won, a couple national championships. Just finished, just got out of school a couple years ago. But I will say it is an absolute cult, because I kind of see it from both sides. I'm not just brainwashed. I haven't been a Clemson fan my entire life, so I kind of see from both sides, and it really is a cult. And I know you guys say it kind of in an insulting way, but I want to let you know that you are right. Another thing I wanted to say about this is Mississippi State and South Carolina are kind of the same school, don't you think?
I have always felt that. Ever since South Carolina got the SEC, they've been my second favorite SEC team. We're the same thing. We share a state with some pieces of shit that a little bit north of us that cheat their fucking asses off and act like they're the best thing since sliced bread. We play in a division where we're a little outclassed, but we stay competitive, and we have our down years. But fuck, we'll circle back. We got a good baseball program. Us and South Carolina are the exact same thing.
Right. The only thing, you guys are both kind of little brother.
Wait, I thought you were a South Carolina fan.
Huh?
I'm confused. He hung up. Okay, see, that's not a good enough gotcha to hang up. I didn't listen to that long ass boring thing he said, but wasn't he a South Carolina fan?
I guess unless
did you? I zoned out on that long ass boring ass shit. But
did he say you are little brothers or have?
That's what he said. He did that whole thing to set up your little brothers. That motherfucker sat on hold for 40 minutes to get that, and right now is high-fiving motherfuckers in the frat house. That was a bad call. 8-8, still 22. Don't want to talk about Illinois conference expansion, best play-by-play man, ACC or Miami. Definitely best play-by-play man, right? Paul in San Francisco, go ahead.
Brandon, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Just enjoying some sun tea out of a styrofoam cup that those globalists will never take out of my hands. Just sitting here thinking about, because I've been watching this terrible baseball game between the pisshead Yankees and the Guardians, and was listening to Bob Costas. And Bob Costas doing play-by-play sounds like back in the early 2000s when you were playing, like Madden or MLB or any of those games, commentators, they'd have zero emotion coming out of their mouth.
Yeah.
Even though, Aaron Judge hits a home run after Stanton hits a home run. Zero emotion from him the entire time.
Well, Bob Costas is a robot. He's 70 years old, and he wasn't good in his prime as a play-by-play. I'm shocked he's the best they got right now.
Oh, for sure. Because TBS and TNT don't. TBS has no one for baseball anymore. But it made me think about with conference realignments happening and the landscape that it is in the television markets. Who are the best play-by-play guys out there for college football? Now, this is obviously some of them do multiple sports, but we're just talking about their role as a play-by-play person for college football. with ESPN basically having a gambit of 3 people at each of the major times, whereas Fox just has the one, and CBS has, or Fox has the 3 games, and then CBS just has Nestler. So out of all of that, who would your top 5 be? Because I think we all have a top 1, but would you then make any trades from some of those other networks to create your best top 5?
I think Nestler's certainly in the top 5.
For sure.
I love Sean McDonough. I think Sean McDonough's in the top 5.
Oh, definitely. Underrated because he goes up against that 3:30 CBS game.
Chris Fowler's probably top 5. I don't think he's great, but I think he's in top 5. I don't know that there's 5 elite ones.
I mean, I like Tessitore and what's his name? I also like Patch, Dave Patch.
Yeah, Patch is good. I like Tessitore. Tessitore's really good. Ron Franklin's my favorite of all time. He just passed away recently. He's my favorite of all time. They had to fire him because he called Holly Rowe honey once. But I
the fact Tim Brando still has a job surprises the hell out of me.
Who called? Did you watch USC Utah? Did you watch USC Utah?
Yes. Yeah.
Who called? And the chat just doesn't understand what a play-by-play announcer is. They're saying all these things. Herb Street's not a play-by-play guy, guys. Whoever called USC with Brock Heward, whoever's with Brock Heward is really good. I think that announced team is awesome. Brock Heward's one of the best color announcers, and I think that play-by-play guy is really, really good. I would have to think. I don't want to insult anybody with my top 5, so thank you very much. I'll think later. Brock's very good. Lasagna, I'm thinking something heavy on a cold night like this dick.
Yo!
Hey! Hey! Got him. No, but for real. Jason Benetti is very good. Yes, Jason Benetti. He is good. How's it feel to be the second most famous Mississippi State fan player? Who's more famous? I am far and away the most famous Mississippi State fan.
I said fan player. So Dak.
Oh, I'm behind Dak? Okay, that's fine. I'm fine behind Dak. I'm okay.
You want to just do a dozen promo before the end of the show?
Tonight at 7 p.m., Brandon Walker rides in to save the dozen. We face macrodosing. It is me and Fran, the experts, against the macrodosing team of Arian Foster, Big T, and the Mad Dog, whatever her name is. She's pretty good. I'll tell you, she's pretty good. Like she's really fucking good. And there is that her going right there? That's her, right? Going upstairs. She's good, and then it's a good team. A good team. But Brandon Walker is saving the dozen, and you will see tonight from an individual one of the best individual performances I've seen in a long time on the dozen. I won't tell you which individual had it, but it's one of the best individual performances in the last year on the dozen, and that happens tonight. Also, the other dozen games, I've been called for every game for a college football question, every game. And I've noticed the college football questions that are on my shows and the college football questions that are on everybody else's shows are dramatically different in difficulty. Dramatically different. I will not be here tomorrow or Thursday. I'm going home to see my mama. That is my statement. We'll see you in Baton Rouge on Friday at 3:30, and then the college football show in Baton Rouge on Saturday at Fred's in Baton Rouge, 12:30 Central Time. I love you all.
November 11th, we are bringing the Barstool Invitational to the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. That's right, the Captain of Philly is bringing our first college basketball tournament. We're doing it all. Halftime show, announcing, tickets, you name it, all us. Game 1, 5 p.m. It is UAB versus Toledo. Game 2, Mississippi State versus Akron. We're doing it all. You want a unique basketball experience? Buy your tickets today. They're cheap. Time of your life. Bang! Bye.